April 29th. We're on pages 56 and 57. We have our 2-day Green Living article, and this is about one of my, I'm super serious, one of my favorite subjects to talk about.
为什么？你说环保议题就对了。
No.
不是吗？
Pee pee poo poo. I'm totally serious. I'll tell you why. Our title today is NEWater Makes the Unthinkable Drinkable.
你喜欢讲这种话题是不是？你喜欢讲
I'm super serious. I love history and science. And this is one of the biggest history and science topics around. People don't like to talk about it because it's dirty. But it's a seriously interesting problem.
所以 Chris 比较喜欢讲就是你知道跟那种污水有关的那我们今天要讲说让污水重获新生的那个新生水。那这里的话其实有比较难的这个文法 makes the unthinkable。我们知道形容词加 the 代表说指的不管是抽象或具体都是指那一个符合那个特质的所有东西。所以 the unthinkable 它其实是一个名词，就是你想象不到的，然后让它 drinkable， 它是可以喝的哦。
This is a great title. Makes the unthinkable drinkable. You want to say it. Can you imagine drinking water that used to be dirty? Now, we're not being really clear here about dirty because people don't like to talk about this topic. Can you imagine drinking like dirty toilet water? And of course, that feels like terrible, right? This is a major problem that people have mostly fixed, but not all the way, including in places like Singapore. And that's what we'll be talking about today. So let's hear our paragraph, or let's hear our story. And when we come back, let's learn about what makes the unthinkable drinkable.
NEWater makes the unthinkable drinkable. One of the biggest problems facing the world today is a lack of clean water. This is particularly true for Singapore, a country that doesn't have enough land to store water. To address this problem, the government launched a project in 1998. It aimed to transform sewage into reclaimed water known as NEWater, which is fresh and safe to drink. A professional team was set up to carry out the development of NEWater. After lots of trial and error, they finally came up with a 3-step process to remove contaminants like heavy metals and bacteria from used water. To ensure the safety of NEWater, the government formed an independent expert panel to evaluate the product. They concluded that NEWater is safe for drinking and meets the water standards of both WHO and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. NEWater was introduced to the public on August 9th, 2002, during Singapore's National Day Parade. Bottles of NEWater were given to all 60,000 fans who filled Singapore's National Stadium. Together, they raised the bottles in a toast and sipped the water. Since then, NEWater has become an important part of the country's water resources. It has been used mainly for industrial purposes, some of which require better water quality than drinking water.
All right, friends, we are on pages 56 and 57. As always, have your pencil and highlighter, blue pen ready. And so the unthinkable here just means like toilet water. We got to know what we mean by unthinkable here. Would anybody drink toilet water? Most people are going to say no. What if I said like a cup of toilet water, 10 million NT? Right? You have to stop and think about it. What about 100 million NT? Because you start doing the math in your head, right? But really, this is a really dirty problem that people don't like to think about. We are very lucky today that the toilet is very convenient. You go to the toilet, you flush, no more problems. Most of history, 99%in history, people did not have this convenience. And it was a very big problem. And this is why I think it's so interesting. How did we fix this?
因为其实这个我们今天要讲的东西，在很久之前其实就有在做实验的，因为它其实就是把 污水啊，把它那个脏的东西分离。如果你用化学的方式去看，它不会觉得很脏，可是你用想象的就会觉得它有点脏。
Yeah, the words you even say so much. You don't want to say what's in the water. You don't want to say, because it feels, number one, it feels 幼稚, it feels immature, but this is a real problem. This is a very real problem that everybody has to fix. Everybody needs to accept and deal with it. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Let's start. One of the biggest problems facing the world today is a lack of clean water.
对，这里就讲到说他开头呢就讲了一个很严重的问题。他说最严重的问题，我们现在面临的之一呢，就是说，我们缺乏干净用水。
Yeah, really. When we face a problem, that means we got to take care of this difficult thing that we don't really enjoy. A lack of clean water. Lack, of course, is negative. But look at our be verb. We have a positive be verb. Is a lack of clean water. Write a plus above is, and write a negative above lack. Don't say isn't a lack of. That's wrong.
对，就是小心不要把负把它变成正，然后就会有点奇怪。那这里的话，同学要小心这个 facing the world today。那个 facing， 你在面对问题，问题也在面对你，对不对？所以这个分词构句啊，我们用 ing 哦，要记得。
This is particularly true for Singapore, a country that doesn't have enough land to store water. Look at this word particularly. This is a word you have to practice saying. People screw it up. Particularly.
他们会讲 particular, 对不对？
You also can say the R. Particularly, that's also acceptable. Just, it's a word you have to practice. Pick your favorite accent, 你最喜欢的口音, and then go with it. But make sure you can say it clearly. It's not an easy word.
因为它卷舌比较多啦，就比较难念。他就说呢，这是尤其对新加坡来讲更是这样子。他就介绍一下新加坡，后面有个同位语哈。那新加坡是怎么样呢？它其实没有太多的土地来储存水，所以它水资源是有问题的。
Store here doesn't mean like the grocery store. It means to keep. But store, like 商店的意思, really means here we keep things you can buy. So really, that's right. So we're keeping water. There's a bunch of islands in the ocean, right? Where can you store water? Even Taiwan has this problem. And Taiwan is a lot bigger than Singapore. To address this problem, the government launched a project in 1998. Okay, what were you doing in 1998?
我才3岁。
3岁？
对啊。
What? I was...
我可能还在哭吧。
高一。
还要有人喂我吧。
Oh my God. 1998, I was 高一。I'm getting old. You were 3 years old? Oh my God.
对啊，只是看起来比较...
Sitting next to a baby here. I didn't know this.
对。
Can you drive?
可能电动的啦，有那种电动的。他说呢，要解决这个问题，那个 address 在这边很特别，它解决，而且这个很常会出在考试里面，多益啊或高中的考试都会解决这个问题啊。那个政府呢，在1998年，他们就发行推出，启动了一个计划。
Okay, to address a problem means to help fix a problem. Be careful. This is a word, if you check dictionaries, especially people from England, people from America, 这个家常会改变. I grew up in America, but I live close to Canada. So I say this word like Canadians do, to address, D-R-G-N-J. I checked a few dictionaries because I didn't believe this. I see a lot of Americans say it as to address. Okay, maybe you'll hear that. I don't say it that way, but that's what the dictionary says, so I believe him. Yeah. How do you say it?
我觉得好像我以为是名词的时候，它可以念 address 跟 address。
Dude, I know. I had this conversation with the people when we make our books for my school. I had this conversation. 我是那边的编辑 and they're like, dude, look at the dictionary. And so that's our standard. 对啊
Address this problem 不好念，我觉得不好念。
I don't know.
他觉得不好听，他不喜欢。
I don't like it. I don't like it because it's like the verb rules and syllables. But the dictionary, we checked 3 dictionaries. Okay. All right. So when a government launches something, when you launch something, you can launch like a missile, 飞弹, right? But also, when a government launches a program, it means we start a big plan, something you prepared for a long time. It's not 突然 at all.
还有产品有时候推出发行的时候也会用这个字。
Let's continue. It aimed to transform sewage into reclaimed water known as NEWater, which is fresh and safe to drink.
对，他就讲说，他的目的呢，就是要把这个污水呢变成是再生水。那这个再生水，他们取的名字叫做 NEWater， known as， 它是被以什么样的方式熟知，as是个身份嘛，它的名字是它一个身份。那后面呢又在补充说明说，这个水呢，它其实呢是很干净，而且它是可以喝。那个污水就是说你上完厕所之后排的那个水啦。
That's right. So how do you say sewage? Well, it sounds just like 污水. It's the same sound. Sewage, 污水. So it's very easy to say clearly. And let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got more pee-pee poo-poo talk. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 56 and 57. We're talking about the unthinkable, drinkable NEWater. It was dirty toilet water, but now it's safe and fresh to drink. I always thought they were always doing this. Like they took dirty toilet water and cleaned it, and then you can reuse it. Don't most places already do that? Am I wrong?
Can you drink it? I don't know, but probably not it's not drinkable. I don't know.
I always thought that like most of the water, when we flush the toilet, it gets cleaned and reused. I didn't think all of it got wasted.
Probably not for drinking, but this one is for drinking in particular, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they also have a lot of salt water. They just don't have a lot of fresh water. Sometimes, especially in some places, they don't say fresh water. Fresh water means it's not salt water. They will call it sweet water. In fact, in some languages, they don't even say fresh in Shinda. They say sweet water. Sweet water is water that you can drink.
就是我们就是饮用水啦，饮用水 fresh water.
So if you see fresh water, sometimes it's called sweet water. If you're reading books, especially about like life on a boat or pirates, haidao, they will look for sweet water. This is not special water. It's just water they can drink. Okay, let's continue. A professional team was set up to carry out the development of NEWater.
对，我们其实呢，这个月看到很多次 set up 就是成立嘛，他就说呢，一个专业的团队呢就成立了，然后呢，他就要负责去研发这个 NEWater。
When we carry out a task or a job, that means we successfully complete it. If you fail, we don't say carry out. Carry out feels like it was a good job. It was successful. After lots of trial and error, they finally came up with a 3-step process to remove contaminants like heavy metals and bacteria from used water. I love how they just won't say pee pee poo poo. Nobody wants to say this.
Can you say that in a magazine? Probably not.
Why not? Like this is what it is, right? We talk about sewage. I know it's immature, and it's 这好幼稚了, but it's a serious, real problem. And if you don't take it seriously, people get sick. So let's be clear about what we're talking about. But this is me. And 一般来说，我明白为什么一般来说，一般的人不要讲这个话题. I understand.
就我们会用比较委婉的方式去讲。对，那 Chris 老师他喜欢比较直接的讲。他说，他讲在很多的试错之后，那个 trials and error 就是 trial 就是你去试验 ，error 就是你犯错。那这个不是说，他其实就在讲实验的过程啊，就是你都要很多试错。他们终于呢，想出了 come up with 会考，我就想出了一个3个步骤的方法，可以把 contaminants 就是那种污染物质啊，比如像那种重金属啊，或者那种细菌啊，把它从你用过的水里面移掉。
So a 3-step process just means these different things you do to reach a goal. When we add process, 5-step, 2-step, and we say process, just means you do 1, 2, 3, and then you can finish your goal. A contaminant is a poison or something bad in something clean. So you take the dirty thing out of the clean thing. That's the contaminant. Remove means to take out. Heavy metals, like the Chinese is really clear, right? Those are things in the water. If you drink them, they're bad for your body. Also, bacteria is plural. Underline that IA. This is a plural word. One bacteria is called a bacterium. So 你去 A 加 UM. That's a singular bacteria. Okay, let's continue. To ensure the safety of NEWater, the government formed an independent expert panel to evaluate the product.
对，他就说呢，为了呢要确保说那个 NEWater 呢它是可以喝的，它是真的你可以喝下去的哈。那政府呢就组成了一个就是独立的，就是意思就是说不受到政府的干预的，不受到企业的干预的这个专家小组呢，他去分析这个产品。
In America, there was a problem with contaminated heavy metal water in a place, and there was no independent expert panel. The politicians, they said, "Oh, the water's safe. We don't have a problem. The water's safe." So they went to a person's house, and they were talking to this person. The person took 3 cups of water, and you could see the water was brown. It was very dirty. And he says, "Will you drink it?" And the politicians were like, "Yeah, of course." And the politicians, like you could see, were like, and they took like the tiny baby sip. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Like I was so angry when I saw this. But the funniest part, there was one guy who totally was not paying attention. He was like, yeah, or it's like I watched this guy like chug this water. It's just like hotala. So yeah, so
可以这样子吗？这样不违法就对了。
I don't know what happened to this person, but I will never forget the people look at it and they're like, "It's great," and the other guy's like, I'll show you this after. It's super funny. All right. So yeah, let's continue. They decided that NEWater is safe for drinking and meets the water standards of both WHO and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA.
对，这里呢我们就看到啊，就是我们讲到专家小组啊，他们就结论就说这个 NEWater 呢，它其实是很安全的，你要喝是没有问题的，而且它符合了 WHO， 就是我们讲的世界卫生组织，还有一个就是跟美国相关美国环保局的水质标准，就是很安全的。
Yeah. So be careful. 不要说both of WHO and Environmental Protection Agency. Both of 就变成错. They meet the standards of both WHO and US EPA. 不要说 both of 后面 we need an object pronoun. Both of them, both of us, both of you.
Both of the girls. 如果你要加 of 的话，你后面要那个名词要加 the 哦，你不可以放一个那个专有名，就是比较少了。
That's right. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, paragraph 3. And now let's look at our first sentence of paragraph 3. NEWater was introduced to the public on August 9th, 2002 during Singapore's National Day Parade.
所以其实对我们台湾来讲，现在是2024年的嘛，对不对？所以它其实很早之前就推出了。那只是可能 NEWater 最近比较红，他就讲到说这个 NEWater 呢，它其实是在这个新加坡这个国庆日的游行的那一天就是2002年的8月9号呢，它就引进推出了给大众可以使用。
We can underline the public. The public means just for everybody. It's an uncountable noun. We don't say publics. So please write UCN. And let's continue. Bottles of NEWater were given to all 60,000 fans who filled Singapore's National Stadium.
对，他就讲我觉得这还蛮有趣的。他就说呢，其实他们在新加坡国家体育馆就有6万名6万名呢，就对这个很有兴趣这个粉丝呢，他们呢就到了这个体育馆，然后呢，他们就每一个人都拿到1罐水。
Yeah, and when you go to a sporting event, you go to a baseball game or a football game or something, isn't it fun when they give you something? Like, even if it's kind of like, I mean, 真的好用吗? But they give you something, you want to do it together. It's kind of fun to do all that stuff together. Yeah, I always like, give me that t-shirt or give me that towel or whatever. I'll wear it. Let's continue. Together, they raise the bottles in a toast and sip the water. Not like They sip the water.
对，他就说呢，他们就在一起他们就举杯了很像干杯这样子，然后他们就一起呢把那个水喝下去。
Okay, ready. We know a sip is a baby drink, just a little bit. A sip, S-I-P. A regular drink is called a drink, right? To drink up. Then we can have a gulp, G-U-L-P. That's a real big drink. Usually it's more than one mouthful. And then you have to chug. And when you chug, you have a big cup and you drink it all at once. So to sip, to drink, to gulp, to chug.
它有点像最后一个比较像是干杯嘛，对不对？就咕噜咕噜咕噜咕噜
Yeah,
把它
throw it all back, drink it all, to chug. Some people say chug-a-lug. All right, so we toast and we sip our water and we take a little bit. Since then, NEWater has become an important part of the country's water resources. Be careful. Some people do say resources.
就是那个 s 它可以念 s 也可以念 z 的声音。
看看老师说什么。
那这个 since then 的话呢，就是从那个时候开始，所以你知道，我们介绍完了它的历史之后呢，它现在转到现在完成式了。他说这个 NEWater 它就成为了这个国家的水资源当中很重要的一个角色。
Yeah, I think so, especially for islands in the ocean. It has been used mainly for industrial purposes, some of which require better water quality than drinking water. And maybe this sounds weird, like isn't drinking water the cleanest water? The answer is no.
因为可能我们喝的水还是有一些杂质嘛，对不对？就是还是有一些。
So here it is. What industries? So an industry is a bunch of businesses that all make the same thing. So if we think about the food industry, many companies make different kinds of food, but they all make food. So an industry is all the businesses that make kind of one kind of thing. What kind of industries need better than drinking water, better quality than drinking water? Number one, medicine. Yeah, that's right. If the water has germs or bacteria in it, and then you take the medicine, this person is already sick. This can be very bad.
食品可能偶尔也需要，就是那种杀菌要比较严格的。
You're exactly right. Food companies need better quality than drinking water, especially if you're making drinks, because water in the United States tastes different than water in Taiwan, and like some water in the mountains tastes better than city water. Food companies all want the water to taste the same, so they want better quality. They clean it more. Computer chips, of course, in Taiwan, this is a really famous problem in Taiwan. If we don't have typhoons, the computer chips can't be made here.
就那种晶片啊、晶片厂啊。那这里他就讲说呢，它现在主要还是被用在工业的用途。那这个工业的用途其实有一些目的啊，它其实它需要的那个水的水质是比那个饮用水还要来的严格的。
Yeah, and the problems that exist for medicine, food companies, and computer chips, when we drink the water, our stomach will fix that problem. So we don't need as good as water. The water is still good. We can still drink it. It's still safe. But our stomach will fix any problems that those other companies can't use. All right. With that, we're done with day one. But we'll be back in 24 hours because we are going on our extended 24-hour break. And when we come back, we got day two, where NEWater has a twist. For NJ English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Betty.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.